And we're back. Welcome back, stranger. It's another day, another productivity report. Nothing better than waking up in the morning and checking your productivity. Ooh, chair is not cooperating with me right now. Sorry about that. Check our little emails. No emails for us. Does Bunny Character D have a squeak for us? No. We've got our mini-me sticker we can put on. Oop, we accidentally peeled off our foil one. You know what? One mini-me for each gun. Now we have 74 Lynx tokens. Ooh, we can get our O2 recharge module. If we install an atmosphere pump filter subsystem, it allows for the gradual replenishment of breathable oxygen tanks within a pressurized environment. And I believe we are just getting into pressurized environments soon. I believe we unlocked those recently. So that'll be pretty good. And heat capacity for our laser cutter reduces the risk of overheating. Let's see if there's anything else we want more than that, though. Range on our grappling hook, I'm pretty fine with its standard range as is. Fuel capacity and top speed on our thrusters are definitely not bad for sure. Demo charges we unlock at rank 11. Don't have to worry about those two yet. I think we're gonna go with the heat capacity here. And our cross-spectrum scanner's getting a little banged up, so let's repair that. And we'll get into our shift. If you're coming here from my other videos, thank you so much for your continued support. And if you're, somehow finding me through the YouTube algorithm or whatnot, thanks for, clicking my video. I hope you stick around and enjoy it. My name is Jade, or Emerald. You can call me either one, really. I like green rocks, I guess. I don't know. I like the names of green rocks. I'm actually kind of medium on the green rocks themselves. They're cool. If somebody wants to send me an emerald, I'm not gonna say no. If somebody bought me an emerald, I'd be like, fuck yes. This is cool. But I'm not out here looking at emeralds online all the time. We're into a new ship now. Tanker class, Javelin class tanker. Just kind of take a look at this here. Got a pressurized airlock, just the one. Doesn't look like we got too much other pressure there. The red squares on our HUD next to the compartments indicates whether or not there's pressure in them. Here, this engine is pressurized. First thing I like to do with a pressurized ship is to get inside and figure out how we're depressurizing it. Here with these first ones, I don't think it'll be too difficult. We should just go find the atmosphere regulator and tell it to vent the ship. We'll be all set. But you never know. Let's see, we can check our system scanner. There it is. Wait, no? There it is. Yeah. Easy as that. Now we could hang out in here and just breathe some fresh oxygen. And that would, it would keep us from having to buy oxygen, which is nice. I think we just wanna get this class 2 thruster out of here. And usually I go outside and I cut off the thruster cap and I send it out that way. This time we're gonna do something a little different. Oh, red lights. Angry red lights. Give me a little bit. It should be okay. This should, yeah, it'll start moving. We can pull the thruster out. Pull the thruster back in. to the ship. Careful, I don't want it hitting me. And if I can just get like a view of processor. Ooh. We didn't take care of all our nicks and knacks on the outside of the ship like I usually do. So those are getting in our way. We'll just take care of that. Nice and quick. Down into the barge with those. Now we can take this nice big panel and lash it over to the processor. Kind of makes me wonder if the developers of this game have ever read, uh-oh, it's taking the reactor with it. That's not good. Let's fix that real quick. Oh, but like I was saying, it kind of makes me wonder if the developers of this game have ever read the Stormlight archives. For anybody who's unfamiliar with the Stormlight archives, there's just a magical system there in which you can tie something to another object and kind of change its gravity.
Salvage secured.
And, you know, pull it towards said object. Looks like that's gonna go into the processor, no problem. This whole thing's going in the furnace, but we've got some delicate systems in there that I would like to get out. So I was wondering if I could maybe cut this. We can get those systems out easily. But these tiny panels might burn up when I cut them. For now, let's just peel these big parts, these big rings apart. Check our system scanner before we toss them in the processor, just in case.
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
Yeah, one of the biggest holdup for me with making YouTube content is I'm very self-conscious of my voice. It's not... I don't hate my voice by any means, but, well... I can't listen to my own voice at all. Definitely hate it in that regard. I hate listening to my own voice for sure. But I've been pretty blessed. I've got a lot of people in my life who let me know that they think my voice is quite nice. And I'm sure it's not for everybody. I bet some people will tune into these videos and be like, oh, don't like that voice. And then they dip. And more power to them, in fact. If you don't like my voice, then my content's probably not going to be for you because I'm going to talk a lot. It's kinda... There's two things that happen in a gaming YouTube video. The creator plays the video game, and they talk. So if you don't like my voice, I guess, and you still stick around, I guess I must be doing something right in the video game. Maybe I start playing some real niche content, you know, games nobody's heard of, and so if you want to find out about them, I'm your only choice. Then you'd just be stuck. Oh! Whoopsie. Oh gosh. Stopped paying attention for a second, and I depressurized an airlock. Now we got... Right, I remember. I know what happened now. Okay. So what happens with airlocks is you pressurize them to get into the pressurized area. Then you depressurize the area you went into, but if you don't go back to the airlock and then tell it to depressurize, it keeps all that oxygen. So then when you try and cut the airlock off, well, it explodes. Thankfully, they don't tend to go off too far on you
Salvage secured. Applying
when they do explode like that. And I wasn't in the way. Otherwise, that could have ended pretty badly. But it does make me realize that... Let me go get some oxygen here while I finish my thought. It does make me realize here that this 20 spares playthrough is gonna be difficult if, while I'm talking, very hard to focus on what I'm doing and my train of consciousness at the same time. But it'll be an interesting challenge. I think the game, at least with these early ships, I found it's a little easy. Not the most easy, but just a little bit. It doesn't always provide the biggest challenge with these early hazard ships. You know, you've got like a couple tense moments with some fuel or whatnot. Of course, there are storage bins connected to this panel. You'll have a couple tense moments here and there, but for the most part, there's two... I was talking with a partner of mine about this the other day. There's two parts to Hardspace Shipbreaker. So there's, when you first get your ship assignment, you head out into this dry dock, and you know, look around, and you've got a ton of dangers. And you need to, you know, like, neutralize all these various threats. You've got to get the reactor out so it doesn't explode. You need to, you know, look out for any electricity or other hazards. Then once you've kind of taken care of all the hazards, you're in this sort of relaxing period where you're just kind of peeling the ship apart piece by piece. And, you know, there's nothing too difficult going on. It's more just relaxing. And I think the bit for me that's gonna be the stressful part is when I'm in this, like, more relaxing... I call it onioning, because I like to... It feels like I'm peeling the ship apart like an onion. So when I'm in onion mode, and I'm just kind of talking to you all, I worry that I'm gonna, you know, miss a threat that I didn't get rid of.
5 minutes left.
Then I'll be in trouble.
How you use them, entirely up to you. We were out.
But, I mean, we'll just have to... We'll have to see. Pretty confident in myself nowadays. Now that I've got a pretty decent... Oh, words fail me. That's not good, because like I was saying earlier, all I've got is my words. Got a pretty decent handle on at least the early game mechanics here. And, you know, even if I accidentally pop open an airlock once or twice, should be okay for the most part to just kind of mindlessly rip these ships apart. That said, sometimes I am going to try and pull myself into the barge.
Salvage deposit registered. Account credited.
There were computer terminals on there. This table does not need to be in there, though. Whoa! Table. Oh, that table wanted to go in that furnace.
Raw material accepted.
Okay. Anything, if you put the wrong item in the barge, you don't get penalized for it. Just glows red and they're like, hey, get this out of here. It's not the end of the world. Let's see, so that's the... This is all the front end of the ship. Let's check our systems tab. Let's just get the rest of our greens out of here. It's kind of like verbiage. I just kind of call anything you recycle in the barge greens. Most of them show up on the systems tab in green.
Salvage
And I mean also the barge is green.
deposited.
One thing that doesn't show up on the systems tab though is any door consoles. I'm always forgetting the door consoles. Yeah, there's one now. That's especially bad when we forget an airlock console, because the airlock consoles are worth a decent amount. Next I'm gonna get to work on, I suppose, these pod clamps here. So we're just gonna be kind of mindlessly laser cutting away. I was getting visited by a cat earlier. I wasn't sure if any cats wanted to make an appearance on my video. I mean, you might have heard them meowing, not positive. That is something to, I don't know, look forward to in my, going forward in my videos, is cats might make an appearance. They like to come over and meow at me. Potluck especially. He's a very loud cat. He's constantly wanting to go outside. He loves to go outside and explore, and he's always telling me about how much he wants that. So he might come tell my YouTube videos about how much he wants to go outside. Remains to be seen.
This is your 1-minute warning, Cutter. Don't be a hero,
Are you missing
alright?
any pod clamps? Whoop. Oh dear. Really gotta watch out when I'm sending something over my head, or from behind my head.
Salvage deposit secured.
Rest of the shift, we'll get these pod clamps taken care of, and then we'll be ready to do the front of the ship tomorrow.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying
see.
credit.
Like I was saying earlier though, with the things from behind me,
Applying
thing I've done a
credit
couple
to
times now is I'll pull something from behind me, and I will try and, you know, just drag it past me, and instead it'll drag me with it towards wherever I'm going. And if that happens to me when I'm headed towards the processor or the furnace, that is a one-way ticket to a new spare. 7 million credits, first day. Not, you know, we're not over half, but usually the first shift on a ship is all about, oh, excuse me. It's all about getting it ready for the big teardown, you know, like I was talking about earlier. And so 7 million credits worth of the ship gone. Pretty good progress for me.
Hello, Shipbreaker. Please enjoy this inspirational message. The last 10% of a job takes as much energy as the first 90%, which is why it's so important to always give 110%.
Well, I mean, we're on the last 10% on the job pretty much all today. Not numerically, but in terms of effort, that's what I feel like. Also, we are 1 point away from a rank up, which... So we're definitely going to rank up from the ship. Do we have any upgrades that we want to get, though? Range on our laser cutter is quite nice. Tether lifespan is a big one. Fuel capacity is pretty big. Next rank, we can actually get our O2. We should take a look at things that we're getting at rank 8, because we're about to hit that. Nothing for our laser cutter. The grapple, we can get increased strength at rank 8, and also more tethers. Thrusters at rank 8, better brakes. Very much like better brakes. I think I'll actually want to maybe save my Lynx tokens for after we finish this ship. Which we're gonna go do right now. Oh, here comes little Potluck. He might have something to say, who knows? Hopefully he doesn't attack me while I'm recording this YouTube video. Sometimes when he doesn't get what he wants, he gets a little bitey. Like, gimme, outside, now. And, I mean, I am his humble servant. I am a human being and he's a cat, so it's kind of just the relationship we got going on. But also, not right now, bud. Okay, so that's all our pod clamps done. We'll handle the rest of this structure after we tear down all this. So first things first, we've got an airlock to take care of. Let's slide in here.
Airlock pressurizing.
We've got nicks and knacks floating around in these ships right now that we can't do anything with. Those will become relevant later. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody though. Okay, now do I have... Okay, we are currently pressurized. And I'm not sure where the atmosphere regulator is. This one in here, but that's not... None of that is pressurized. This cabin isn't pressurized. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to explosively decompress this? Not seeing too many ways about it. Let's see how we can do that that will cause the least damage. I think. It's gonna be activating this airlock console.
Airlock pressurizing.
Yeah, so there's not much in this room that's gonna get damaged when we do this. So we'll head out here.
Airlock depressurizing.
And then we will we'll try and get clear of these doors. Yeah, this is a pretty good angle. The doors are gonna shoot up. Here it goes. Now we're gonna get away. Uh-oh. That
Material deposited.
sounded not
Account
good.
credit applied.
Well, there's no more pressure. I guess let's go see the damage. Huh. That's odd. And not how I intended to decompress this. These doors were supposed to come loose. I don't actually know what I cut. Some part of this, like, panel around the...
Credits transferred.
Some part of this panel around the airlock. Weird.
Raw material deposited. Transferring credits.
Oh. Looks like we cut these doors open. Some kind of podcaster, space podcaster, a data drive. Thankfully nothing in here got too damaged. But it does seem like we caused some kind of internal ship damage, which is why I never like explosively decompressing things. Because it turns everything into these just shards of metal, and you have to clean them all up individually, and it's a little annoying. But we now have access to, like, most of the rest of the ship, so before I, clean up too much more of this scrap, let's actually start peeling it apart. We've got this little shuttle bay here. Which we can take care of.
Gunner, gear's getting low. It's gonna start fighting you if you don't head back to the hab and make some repairs.
But I don't really need repairs right now. It's only at 60%. I mean, you know, working better is good. Especially, I would hate to have my tools, like, malfunction while I'm doing something highly stressful. I'm not actually sure if that's a mechanic or not, but...
Salvage secured. Applying credit.
Suppose we don't want to find out, but... For the most part, they just seem to kind of beep at me
Salvage deposit
and
accepted.
spark a little bit.
Transferred.
But I'm sure nothing could ever go wrong with Lynx Corp technology. Ooh. That wall terminal got a little banged up.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
I think. Now I'm actually not too sure what the what that bar is. Cause
Salvage deposit secured. Credits awarded.
perhaps this bar is actually my... Starting to reconsider that bar on my informational thing might actually be telling me how heavy something is relative to my grapple strength. Because that checkered line that's showing right now is usually what shows when my tool is damaged, so you can see it in the bottom right on my cutter temp right now. That my cutter actually has a lower maximum temperature because of how damaged it is. Yeah, and I can that definitely is... I'm pretty confident now that I have solved the mystery about what that bar is. It is the relative weight of the object versus... Huh. Apparently that's a door that can come off. It's the relative weight of the object versus my grapple. Which is going to be really useful for, like, these bigger chunks. It's red. I'm pretty sure, you know, if I push off it, I will go flying.
Valuable object accepted for processing.
Awesome. That's that shuttle taken care of. Now we can get in here, and we can start taking things apart. It's actually, it made me really happy to figure out whatever the heck this, that indicator is. I really... So I was talking earlier about how I love trying new games. It's always been a passion of mine. My first gaming experiences as a kid was trying out various MMOs with a good friend of mine. You know, like pretty much every week we'd be trying a new MMO. Mostly because I'd get bored of them. He had a lot more commitment to MMOs, but I was just like a flavor of the week gamer, and he would just put up with me, I think. And so we tried all sorts of things. I was always browsing. There was some website, like Top 100 MMO Games. It was, you know, some weird clickbait website with just a list of just any MMO you could think of. Lord of the Rings Online was one that we found, and we were both big Lord of the Rings fans, so we ended up playing that one quite a bit. Him much so more than me. I believe he ended up getting into the raiding scene for Lord of the Rings Online. But I could never stick with an MMO, so I was always playing a new one, and always learning new systems. And that kind of just passion for trying new stuff stuck with me. You know, to this day, I'm always still telling people about new games that come out, and they're like, where did you find this? And I'm like, this is just what I do with my free time. I look up strange games, and I'm like, whoa, this is new and exciting. I enjoy old reliable games sometimes. A lot of MOBAs are that for me. And I think it's because they scratch that new game itch.
Your 5-minute warning, Cutter. 5 minutes left.
You know, every time you load into a new match in a MOBA, it is a new game, sort of. You're not guaranteed the same experience every time. I think that's part of what I like. And it's something I'm really enjoying about Hardspace Shipbreaker too, is, you know, when I load up a ship, I don't know what kind of ship I'm gonna get right now. I don't know what kind of puzzles are gonna be here waiting for me and whatnot. What trials and tribulations await me in the cold emptiness of space. And so, I mean, I suppose if there's any games that people want to see me play, feel free to let me know, and I will take a look at them for sure. I'm guilty admission here, I suppose. I'm subscribed to a bunch of indie game like YouTubers, which I don't dislike their content, but for the most part it's just so that I can see what kind of games they're playing. So I'm not on any like newsletters. You know, game companies don't email me when they come out with a new cool game. So my way of getting that information is from indie game YouTubers. I'm sorry to any indie game YouTubers out there who I might be subscribed to, whose content I don't really watch. But I'm supporting you silently. You're doing good work out there.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Uh-oh.
Credits transferred.
Kind of pulling this whole thing towards the processor. Not what I want.
Deposit accepted for
I think we're
processing.
good now. Okay.
Salvage accepted.
Now I think I'm gonna get to work on this whole thing here. Ugh. Lots of panel chunks left over from that explosion.
Salvage secured. Account
Also, I
identified.
didn't mention it in my last video that was part of this recording session, but I've moved my desk all around, so I've got a new microphone position so that you can hear me in crisper clarity. Is that good English? Who knows? Certainly not me. I don't know.
Transferring credits.
Okay, so now this outer structure here needs to go into the processor, but the inner bits all go in the furnace, so we're gonna start with taking off the ends. We will cut with reckless abandon. And
Salvage goal cleared. Rewards allocated.
okay, oh, we've still actually got a whole bunch of greens in here. And here I was, about to just pull all this and
Salvage secured.
tether it into
There's
the...
1 minute left, Cutter. If you're in the middle of something, it's nigh on time to skedaddle.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit.
The other reason I just can't watch a lot of indie game YouTubers is, maybe it's because of the way I played video games as a kid, where I was always looking for, you know, the new thing. I find myself pretty quick at picking up new systems. This is just setting me up to have egg on my face when I record myself playing a new game and fuck something up. But when I watch a lot of a lot of like Let's Plays and stuff, and I see them not understand a mechanic or something, or they miss something obvious, it just like there's this there's this, like, itch suddenly in my brain where I need to go do it better. I think a lot of people get this.
License upgraded.
There's our rank up. But we are actually... We're gonna have to take another shift to finish this ship. I expected to be done by now, but that's okay. We can finish it up in, like, one more shift, I think. And this is why I think most of my videos going forward are just gonna be one ship per video.
Good morning, Cutter 9346-52.
Hey there, Rook. Saw that you found an old data drive while you were salvaging. Now, I'm a bit of a tech head and a history nerd, so I love these things. They're uncensored info. Sometimes it's junk, but sometimes it's gold. Either way, it's a more genuine view of the colonies than what you see on the garbage news networks. I'm sending you a data recovery program. You'll see it on your HAB terminal. Soaking in solar radiation mangles up the data pretty bad, but you can usually pull 1 or 2 intact files. Hopefully it'll give you a better sense of the wider world. Warts and all. Have fun. Later, Rook.
Alright, thanks, Lou. Yeah, so that's, new HAB poster. Ooh, new ship, the Atlas Roustabout. Atlas, powerful, dependable, enduring. The foundation of a better world. Alright, and we didn't finish off that ship, but we still, made quite a bit of money compared to our fees total. Which is, until we start getting up there.
I want to tell you, I'm mighty impressed by you. Remind me of me when I started. All bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Had big dreams of hitting the rails back then. Bought myself one of them classic armadillo rigs. Named the old girl Beulah, after my mother. Told you about my bad revive a while back. Another case of me and technology not getting on, I guess. Bottom line is, this body just ain't fit for flying no more. So, I want to give Beulah to you, Cutter. She ain't in the best of shape, but she'll do good by you. Hell, even a few places around the village that'll fit her out for gate travel, if you're so inclined. Anyway, that's it. She'll do more for you than me now. I'm just happy she's gonna be with somebody that truly appreciates her. Weaver out.
Weaver is the father figure that I think we all need. He's just such a good boy. Just a great lad. Oh, we got more information about the history of the Lynx Corporation. The Exeter Paulson era. Born well into Earth's post-climate collapse era and raised in the intellectual haven of the Swiss Confederacy, Exeter always had his sights set on space. From a young age, friends and family knew him as a true visionary who showed excellence in every endeavor. In early adulthood, he began looking off-world for venture opportunities and started acquiring small businesses with untapped potential, folding them all under the umbrella of Paulson Technology. Utilizing the vast financial resources from across his portfolio, Exeter had a gift for unlocking the true potential for every new acquisition. In 2208, with over 200 years of human space travel leaving a swath of dangerous debris that was now a very real hazard for further human expansion, the International Federation of Earth and Humanity introduced massive subsidies for clearing and recycling of this detritus. Astute as ever, Exeter came across a mismanaged but highly respected recycling operation, Lynx Salvage. This acquisition quickly awarded Exeter vast subsidies that would enable him to focus on his primary vision, creating a network of rapid mass transit between Earth, Mars, and beyond. Eventually, this vision would manifest as the modern railgate network. Charmed with how Lynx Salvage used the now-existent Wildcat, with the air of a mythological beast as its moniker, Exeter Paulson rebranded his entire operation as Lynx Corporation in 2210. Up next, the Railgate Project. Oh, we got our data miner. Here we go. Let's recover that data.
Phono text reading, The Stellar Commission, Part 2.
It wasn't until 2283, during the wake of the AI revolution, that the Stellar Commission found the grit we deserved from them for so long. It is here where we can chalk up a clear win. Advanced AI systems were on the rise, decimating work opportunities for hundreds of millions across the solar system, and causing unimaginable human suffering. Of course, large corporations, as always, had nothing more in mind than profit, and were further spurred by their public image as the drivers of human advancement. However, finally finding their voice and the right tools to enact and enforce policy, the Stellar Commission, in an enormous pushback against corporate power, outlined new regulations around artificial intelligence, practically outlawing its use in order to safeguard human jobs. Better late than never, am I right? The corporate conglomerates have had simmering resentment ever since this moment of heavy regulation and strict enforcement. Today.
Oh no! I didn't know that that was going to cut off the dialogue. But you can still read it down in the voice log. But I will, I'll finish up reading that myself. Let's see. The corporate conglomerates have had simmering resentment ever since this moment of heavy regulation and strict enforcement. Today, they are looking towards the Jupiter frontier, where once again the Commission's reach and oversight is sparse. And so the cycle repeats. As a species, our greatest flaw seems to be to never learn from history, and that some among us would gladly grind their fellow humans into a pulp for $1. It appears that we are doomed to repeat the mistakes of our past, time and time again. Oh, that's 2 of 3 of the Stellar Commission. Whoops. I was planning on waiting until we got all 3 of them. Let me finish patching up my tools. And now that we are rank 8, we can get increased oxygen capacity. That'll be really nice. You know, the less we have to go back to the kiosk to buy things, the quicker we can work. Oh, we can actually get the object scan mode if we had more Lynx tokens. So I think I'm gonna save up for that. We won't spend the rest of them. We'll get our oxygen, and we'll get back to work.
Morning, crew. Let's hit them salvage goals.
Yeah, hey, Weaver, do you know when this administrator gets here?
Should be here any day now. But remember, no need to worry.
Thanks.
Kai, you good?
Yeah, just nervous, you know. I really can't lose this job.
Whoa, slow down there.
They always let go of the screw-ups first, right?
We all screw up, Kai.
Just work careful, avoid any major accidents. You'll be golden.
Yeah. I just need to keep my head down.
Oh, Kaido, I'm so worried about you.
Deposit registered. Account credited.
If anything happens to Kaido, I will be devastated. He's just such an honest kid.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Alright, that's... Oh, can't forget the Atmos regulator.
Salvage
Or the power
registered.
cell, come on.
Transferring credits.
Come on, Jade, get it together. Can't be wasting that stuff. We have to use the whole hog, as it were. Well, these are grade 2 cut points, so they actually take quite a bit of cutting to get through. Okay. That's the nanocarbon sort of shell taken off. Should be able to just kind of pull this straight off into the furnace. Pull that into the processor, and it'll just kind of come on out. Yeah. Oh, it's so satisfying when a plan comes together in this game. When everything happens just like how you wanted it to. Now here we've got these big ion rings. They're pretty chunky, but with a good use of tethers, we should be fine. So good thing we upgraded the maximum temp on our laser cutter, because otherwise I'm not sure we could get through those grade 2 cuts without hurting ourselves.
Deposit accepted.
So now, we can't pull this, but we can just tether it down towards the barge. And that upper one should go no problems.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Lower one even. I think I might have said upper by accident. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Made a slight error. Gotta cancel this tether. Forgot to disconnect, this here.
Deposit accepted for processing.
Got one on the bottom, too. I think my yammering might have, with my chit-chatting might have made me lose a little focus on Shift 2. Probably could have gotten through this ship a little quicker. But I mean, that's not... You know, speed is not the name of the game here. You're primarily interested in just getting it done safely and having a good time while we do it. Happiness is the key to success. That's what they've been telling me, at least.
Tether supplies are dropping.
Processing object. Applying credits to account.
Now our tethers are getting a little low, but we're pretty much done here. And, you know, tethers are... Oh, there's just a little pod clamp hanging out there.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Now this should pretty much be the end of this ship. And, I mean, when this ion ring goes in, that'll pretty much be the end of this video. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you come back for the next one. And I hope I'm doing this YouTube thing right. So we're gonna just let these all settle into their processor tubes and whatnot.
Transferring credits.
And we'll see how we did for the night. See if anybody's got any calls for us at the end of the day.
All salvage goals have been met.
And that'll be it.
Rewards maximized.
There goes that. There's our Mini-Me sticker, which is what it's all about. Cover me in Mini-Me.
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
Pop up on everything for our next video. And end our shift early. Destroyed quite a few lights and doors, but that's fine. Got a lot of Lynx tokens, which we will spend in our next video. But first... Alright, nobody had any calls for
Hello,
us today.
Shipbreaker. Overnight genetic backup complete. Pattern deviation nominal.
See you in the next
Have a
video,
good day.
stranger.